Hi, Angelina.
Hello.
Welcome to China.
Thank you.
This is your first time visiting China. How do you feel about this country?
Well, yes, it is. It's my first time. I've spent much time in Asia, and I had been to Hong Kong, but I've never been to mainland China. I've had a wonderful time with my family. Brad is here with 3 of our children, and we've tried to simply get to know people here and not kind of come very open-minded to see what it feels like. We went to a beautiful art exhibit for contemporary art, the Long Museum. We've been, the kids are having a dim sum class today, and we've been trying to walk around, appreciate the architecture, and get to know the people. I think that's the best thing to do when you get to a country is not focus on politics as much as understanding and speaking to local people and trying to get to know each other.
Okay. My second question is, your daughter Vivian played an important role in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
How do you judge her performance? And are there any interesting things during your filming?
Was there interesting things to? Oh,
yeah, between you and your daughter.
Oh yes. Well, of course, I'm her mother, so I find her very lovely. You know, the reason we had to cast her is because there had to be a little child in the movie who liked my character, and all the other little children who met me cried, because in person I was 7.5 feet tall and very scary, and so the only child that would be comfortable with me was my own. So we cast her, and she was, Brad and I, the first day she worked, was not the scene I'm with her, she was by herself. And so Brad and I were off camera making faces and dancing to try to get her to smile, and it was hard work for us, but it was a fun day.
Okay. In the past few years, there are a lot of dark fairy tale stories in Hollywood, like Snow White and Huntsman, like Mirror Mirror, and now we have Maleficent. What do you think is the biggest difference between Maleficent and all these kind of movies?
Well, I think Maleficent at its core has a very we didn't go into it trying to make it dark. We went into it trying to show the humanity and the love, and so when people with their children walk out of the theater, they actually feel, I think, more emotion than they're expecting. There's many deep themes, and part of, I think, the story of Maleficent is not how angry or evil she is, but what caused her to become that way. And I think everyone can identify with being bullied or marginalized or made to feel bad about themselves. And then it takes a while to be able to come back to love and openness and kindness. So I think it's a very universal, it has very universal themes and very deep emotions to it that I think are a little more than some of the other films.
All right. And there's an original story and this new adaptation. Which one do you prefer?
Well, I prefer this not because I'm in it, but because it has more to the story. It tells you more. It unlocks many secrets, and I think in the original, my character was simply evil, and so she wasn't as complex as she is now. And same with Aurora. I think the princess in the original was not as progressive and active. She was waiting for somebody to come save her, and this Elle's character is elegant and lovely, but also has a strong mind.
And you've now directed 2 movies and 1 documentary, and any plan for your? We know that your latest work, Unbroken, will air this Christmas. And do you have any plan for your next movie?
Brad and I are talking about working together on something that I wrote.
Okay. Your costume and makeup in this movie is a little bit terrifying.
Thank you.
And we know that the character you play in this movie is not traditional villain, but some kind of anti-hero. You used to leave us an impression of like sexy spy and hit girl. And do you think this movie is kind of breakthrough for your acting?
It is very different for me as an actress because, you know, sometimes I have done action films, sometimes I do heavy dramas, but what was nice about this character is it's a very full performance. It's a very big performance, like when you do theater or you do some stage. So you don't, you have to be very brave and you have to commit to doing something much bigger that feels scary because it's a bit, you know, you don't know if you're going to do it really well or it's going to be terrible. So you go very bold. And I think maybe it's also more of a character that's a little more maternal than I've ever played. She does do a lot of action and she is kind of fun, but she's also very much a woman, not a young girl. She's a woman.
Okay. And I heard you once read the play of this movie as bedtime story to your children.
Mm-hmm.
Fairy tales are always meaningful, and do you think this story will teach anything to your children?
I do. I think it has